And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Dice Club. Dice Club is a game. On the side of the box it says, first rule of Dice Club, you do not talk about Dice Club. Second rule of Dice Club, you do not talk about Dice Club. Third rule of Dice Club, if it's your first night at Dice Club, you have to roll. I have a fourth rule for Dice Club. You might guess that by the time this review is done. Here we go. So you can see there's a pile of components that come with this game, and I'm kind of showing you all of them at the same time. Each person is going to get a character. That character is going to have their own board, so these are the different characters in the game. I guess that's Old Popeye, maybe? Anyhow, you'll have these characters, whether you have Prince Charles or Muscle Man or American, I guess, and Morpheus, and I don't know, She Fights Wolverine, maybe? But anyhow, you'll take these characters, and you're also going to get a bunch of dice for that character. And the game is going to take place 2 rounds, and each round is in 2 parts. So the first part is the gambling. In the gambling round, you are going to be rolling your dice initially. All right, and then you're going to be placing your dice in your board. So here I have 2 2s, a 3, 4, and a 5. Each player is also going to have a random card here. So I also have a 6. So I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight up the bat. And you'll have a secret card placed here, which could be bad or not. You're not quite sure. There are cards that are in here that will show a question mark, and when they're revealed, they will be, something negative will happen to you possibly, or maybe sometimes even positive. Each player is also going to have 10 chips. So then, taking turns, players are going to be spending chips if they so desire to do various things. I can spend a chip to re-roll dice. I can spend a chip to play a card on someone else's board or on my own board. I can play a card to get rid of all these, to look at the cards that are here, to get rid of the cards. I think actually it costs 2 chips to get rid of these cards. I can pay a chip to play a card. And players are going to keep doing that till everyone's kind of happy with what they have. You'll then reveal this. Well, you'll reveal your secret cards and do whatever they say. And there is a lot of symbology in this game. The cards are double-sided. In this half of the game, you're only going to be using the side that shows the poker symbols. So I guess one here tells you to discard your hand. Some of these cards are going to... This lets you change a die to something else. This will basically increase dice. Actually, off the top of my head, I don't even remember what all these symbols do. You'll be constantly looking through the book to see what they do. And things are going to happen possibly because of these secret cards that are put here. Then players are going to get points based on what they have. So the best thing to have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The full straight, that's worth 21 points. All right, so I don't have that. I got a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is like a half straight, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 17 points for me. Having 6 of the same kind is 20, and you get a certain amount of points for having these things. The lowest you can get is a pair. Although, honestly, after all those rerolls and stuff, if you have only a pair, whatever. You'll also add a point to your score for each chip that you have left over. All right, so that's the first half of the game. Mark those scores down. Let's go to the second half. Guess we're pretty mad about this because now we're going to fight. So players will be taking positions on the board here. The rule book says basically like whoever has the lowest score picks where they go first. As you can see, that doesn't seem to really matter. Each player is also going to be betting secretly on which person that they think is going to win. And you'll be doing a fighting round. This time all the poker chips, instead of being on the money side, will be on this side, and you are going to, those are your life points, and you're just going to go around till people are knocked out. And you have different actions that you can take. You can move and hit someone for a damage. You can throw a bottle at someone. You can play cards, and now you're going to be using the other sides of these cards to do all sorts of things. Move twice and hit someone. Throw a weapon, and it's like a critical hit. You know how a critical hit works? Basically, you roll a die. All right, I got a 1. That does 1 damage. I want to do more damage than that. I rolled a 5 now. Is 5 higher than 1? Yes, I do 2 damage. And I roll 3 dice. I got to get higher than a 5. That's a 9. Now I roll 4 damage. I can stop anytime I want. 3, 4, 8. Oh, I rolled less than 9. I did none. But had that succeeded, I would do 4 damage. Anyway, you just keep punching each other for a while until one person's left. That person's going to get points. Or until the time runs out and whoever has most health wins. People will also be getting points if you bet on the right person who did win. Then, hey, let's do it again. Oh yeah, by the way, whoever's has the lowest score gets a bonus chip, like 3 extra health, or when you hit someone, they lose 2 health. There's some of that involved in the game too. And then you do it again. And then after that, whoever has the most points is the winner. Alright, so the artwork is very caricature-ish. Fine. Symbology is a pain in the neck. Here's a special ability. Sometimes they're easy, but these cards are so full of symbology, you will have to look up almost every single card every time you play it. The cards are also not good quality, which, by the way, is something I'm going to be saying a lot. Like these chips, they're money one time, they're hit points another time, they're the same thing. They're okay quality. The board is not very useful. And these dice. Now, folks, this is the dice tower. We love dice. These dice are really bad. Now, these yellow dice don't look so bad, but if you look carefully, and I don't know if I can catch it in the light here, you'll see the pips underneath there, and you can feel the pips underneath. They look kind of like they were stickered. Actually, the yellow dice look the best of the lot, I think. These are not good dice. They don't feel good when you roll them. They're just blah, blah. The whole thing is really kind of a shoddy production. Wow. Okay, so Dice Club here is basically built into 2 separate sections. We have the gambling section and we have the fighting section. And interesting enough, this is not the only game in the past couple weeks I played that has 2 very distinct sections. Except here, I'm struggling to find which one of these sections I dislike more. Probably the fighting. Okay, the fighting is, oh my goodness, it's awful. It's a free-for-all where you walk around and just punch people and do damage and roll cards and do damage and eventually knock people out. There's no strategy. You just walk around and play cards and do damage. Nothing. The first part of the game, the gambling part, you were trying to get a big, combination here. So, like I said, the lowest is a pair. Seriously, you would have to be trying to lose the game to get just a pair. You can re-roll dice. You can play cards to change things, and then you work real hard and you get this 1 through 6, 21 points. That's the highest thing to get. That's like a best hand in poker type thing. Lots of people get it. The only way that you usually mess up on these things is when people play those negative cards on you, which is so very fun, right? Oh, I finally got the combination 1. Boom, I played a card on you. Okay, so I can just discard the card for 2 of my chips, or I can look at the card and then decide to discard it. Yeah, it's, oh my goodness, bad components. The theme, I don't even get the theme of the game. You're all at a gambling casino, then you all fight. And then after you're done beating the snot out of each other, you're like, all right, let's sit down and play again. And then when you're done with that, let's fight again. Oh! Okay, so the game's based on Fight Club, I guess, the movie, although I can't sense any of that in this game. The game is about gambling in the most least boring gambling way possible. It's about fighting in the most boring, uninteresting ever to watch fight. I had high hopes for this one. It didn't look that fantastic, but we're like, oh, it looks interesting. Then there's 2 parts of the game, a gambling part. And when I saw that you got to roll dice and manipulate the dice with cards, I was excited. Was less excited when I realized I had to look through the book to figure out what every card did. And then I found out it was crazy and wild and random. And then basically it didn't matter what anyone did. And at the end, you were like, okay, we got some points. Yay, write them down. After a very long, boring, I spend a chip, you spend a chip, I spend a chip, you spend a chip, blah, 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 blah. Oh, at least we're getting to the fighting part now. Wait. Maybe this is worse. This is literally one of the most boring games. You walk around and smack people. The only exciting thing is playing that card where you roll 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 dice. And if you roll really well on that, you can kill somebody else. Yeah, I don't like it. Dice Tower Judgment. The first rule of the Dice Club is don't talk about it.